After looking at the biomass boiler at Penns Valley, we were excited when we came in contact with Dave Maciejewski over at East Lycoming School District. East Lycoming has not only implemented a biomass boiler, but also planted willow on their property in order to provide their own fuel. We headed over to Hughesville to get the scoop on what their school district was doing.
Welcome today to the East Lycoming School District in Hughesville, PA. Today we'll take you through the Spartan Green story of our alternative energy and energy conservation measures that we've implemented in the last 10 years. Our energy story as far as alternative energy goes includes biomass with the planting of hybrid willow, demonstration wind turbine, and a 600 kW solar field that supplies 50% of our electricity at the Hughesville High School. The East Lycoming School District uses biomass to heat the Hughesville High School as well as the Lycoming Career and Technology Center. It uses it through a hot water loop system, heating about 165,000 square feet.
East Lycoming School District was able to secure multiple grants for their effort to make their school green. We asked Dave to explain what they did to get this additional funding.
The biomass heating system really came at the culmination of 7 years of energy performance projects. The district had been very active in energy conservation measures during the course of time from 2002 to 2008. The district applied to the Pennsylvania Energy Development Authority for an $800,000 grant and ultimately was successful in receiving that grant. That grant was a competitive grant. We were fortunate enough to be one of approximately 40 awardees out of 400 plus applications. I think our success in that grant process was mainly due to the fact that we were planting hybrid willow as a green energy source. The initiation of the planting of hybrid willow centered at the school board level of just if we made this ultimate investment in the biomass system, how would we ensure that later on fuel supply would be available as well as hedge against potential rises in fuel costs in the future as far as wood chips would go.
We wanted to find out what obstacles East Lycoming had to overcome, so we asked Dave what he found most difficult about the process.
The largest obstacle with any project of this size, being $2.3 million, really was based on being able to receive a grant. So the award of the grant of $800,000 made the project then at about $1.5 million, achievable from a 15-year payback standpoint. Another aspect of the project was just communication between school board and public. Especially with the planting of the hybrid willow, we conducted a public seminar at night hours to inform the public of the planting of the hybrid willow, the advantages of doing that, as well as just characteristics of hybrid willow such as invasiveness, that it is not an invasive plant, and those kinds of things were things that were covered at that meeting.
We noticed that Dave mentioned that they were currently burning purchased wood chips. We were curious as to why the willow, which was growing out back, hasn't been utilized yet.
Currently, for 3 years now, we've been operating with green wood chips supplied by Dwight Lewis Lumber Company. This fall, early winter, we're looking to do our first harvest of the hybrid willow in conjunction with double-A willow from Fredonia, New York. As you can see behind me is our willow plantation. We have 40 acres of willow planted, originally planted in 2010. In that first year, the soil is cultivated. Double rows are planted, approximately 2 feet apart. You can see today a lot of the growth is approximately 10 to 15 feet high. Ultimately at harvest, it's desired to be about 20 to 30 feet high. Some sections are getting close to that at this point. Our ultimate goal is to harvest approximately 1/3 of that 40 acres each year, supplying about 200 of hopefully about 600 total tons that we have been utilizing during the last 3 years.
We wanted to get an idea of the timeline associated with the installation of a biomass boiler, so we asked Dave to explain. We also had him tell us who advised East Lycoming during the construction process. Afterwards, Dave gave us a brief explanation of how the system mechanically works.
Our biomass project began in 2008 with exploration of multiple facilities located not only within our area but outside of our area in Vermont, in Michigan, in New York State, and then proceeded as we went through to a design phase during 2010 with construction starting. During the course of the project, which was actually a very interesting part of the project, we dealt with many individuals. McClure Company from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania was our energy services company, or ESCO, who designed the project as an energy performance project in May and completed construction in November of that year with operation of the biomass plant beginning at the end of November, beginning of December. With any biomass fuel system, as well as any traditional system, the handling of the fuel and the storage of the fuel is a major component of the heating system. Within this room, we store approximately 2 tractor and trailer loads of wood chips. That's about a 2,500 square foot room. Within that room, you can see in front of me is the transverse auger that basically glides across the fuel bin from left to right, pulling the fuel out onto the conveyor belt, which is at the floor level. Ultimately, that conveyor belt pulls the fuel down and up around the bend in front of us. As the fuel leaves the fuel storage room from these 2 auger tubes, you can see it continues on, drops into a second group of augers, which ultimately take the fuel into the boiler. I cannot stress enough the lack of human intervention that this particular boiler involves, other than the ash removal once a week that our staff is involved with and raking down the boiler. The system is very hands-off, which was one of our concerns, that we did not want to incur a lot of labor costs for the ongoing operations of this system. A 20-ton tractor and trailer load of wood chips ultimately creates about 5 gallons of ash. The hybrid willow, since by its nature will have some bark on it at the time of burning, that bark will likely create a little bit more ash than what the actual green wood chip currently does. Again, the oil system was removed, one, because of cost of the oil, in addition to the fact that the biomass is green energy versus the oil. We felt that moving towards the biomass, since it was very easy to coordinate into our current system as far as the hot water loop goes, it just made sense to look and move in that direction.
After being inside for our tour of the boiler, we went out and braved the heat in order to check out East Lycoming's willow plantation. Dave went over issues involved with planting willow, as well as explained how green energy production is a part of their district's curriculum.
Once the hybrid willow is harvested, it will regrow. So each section of the field will be harvested approximately 7 to 8 times. So the field itself and that initial planning will be costed out over almost a 25-year period. Our end hope is that currently we're paying about $35 per ton for fuel. We're hoping that this is less than that $35. At this point, we're looking at probably $25 to $30 based on our knowledge at this point. Ongoing, this year again being our first year at harvesting, it will be an interesting event as we harvest for the first time and essentially store that material for probably a month to 2 months at maximum. The wood chip system, as far as ongoing yearly operating costs, have been very minimal. The fuel costs are less than natural gas currently. Obviously, using hybrid willow, having it planted on site, is truly a green fuel from the standpoint that it regrows on a yearly basis, as well as being carbon neutral, growing a fuel here that is absorbing the carbon that we burn. Within our high school curriculum, we have a green energy class, an alternative energy class, that the students work on various energy projects over the course of a year. That mainly is an 11th and 12th grade elective. At the elementary level, we from time to time do tours of our facility, showing the children the solar field, the hybrid willow, and talking about those resources that help make the district green. One of the things as we pursued our Energy Star energy performance ratings for our facilities, and as we toured, particularly at the high school today, you would have noticed that it's 1955 construction. Our other buildings, which are Energy Star rated, are a 1925, a 1965, and a 1970 building. So we're very green in another sense that we've brought all of our older buildings up to standard. They're very well maintained, very energy efficient, and serve our community and our students and staff very well. Thank you very much for spending time with us today at the East Lycoming School District in Maciejewski, PA. Through our various energy initiatives and energy performance projects and energy conservation measures, we truly feel very proud of the East Lycoming School District's Spartan Green energy story. And again, you're welcome to contact us at any time, visit our facilities. We'd be glad to be given the opportunity to show you the resources we have here in Maciejewski. Thank you.